Imagine this. You are at the airport tomorrow morning. You have your boarding pass in hand. You have your ID ready. You are standing in a security line that is already 2.5 hours long, winding back through the baggage claim area. And then you see something you have never seen before at an American airport. Men in tactical vests with badges you have never seen at a TSA checkpoint before. Not the familiar blue shirts of the Transportation Security Administration, not the local airport police, but federal agents from ICE, Immigration and Customs Enforcement. They are standing right there at the terminal entrance, flanking the security checkpoint, patrolling the exits, and moving through the public areas of your airport. And one of them looks at you, steps forward, and asks, "Where are you from? What is your status in the United States? What do you do? What do you say?" Can they even ask you that in a domestic terminal? Can they check your immigration status right there in the security line while you are just trying to visit your family? Can they detain you? Can they detain your grandmother? This is not a hypothetical scenario. This is happening tomorrow, Monday, March 24th, 2026. President Trump confirmed it on Truth Social. Border czar Tom Homan confirmed it live on CNN this morning. Hundreds of ICE agents are being deployed to airports across the United States starting tomorrow morning to take over security duties. I am Edward, and this is U.S. Green Card Signal. My goal today is not to scare you. My goal is to prepare you. We are facing a situation where the rules of travel are changing overnight, and by the end of this video, you will be more prepared than 99% of the travelers walking blindly into any airport tomorrow. In the next few minutes, I am going to tell you exactly what is happening in Washington that caused this, why ICE agents are being sent to handle airport security, what they can and cannot legally do when they encounter you, and most importantly, I am going to give you the 5 critical things you must know and do before you step foot in any airport this week. Stay with me. This matters more than you realize. Let me take you through the timeline because this situation escalated with terrifying speed over the weekend. On Saturday, March 22nd, President Trump posted on Truth Social that if the Democrats in Congress did not immediately agree to fund the Department of Homeland Security, he would move ICE agents into the nation's airports to manage the crisis. Hours later, he posted again with even stronger language. His exact words were, "I look forward to moving ICE in on Monday and have already told them to get ready. No more waiting, no more games." Then came a second post that changed the entire nature of this deployment. And I want to be very careful here because I am about to read a direct quote from the President of the United States. These are not my words. They are a matter of public record. In his Truth Social post, the President specifically wrote that ICE agents would conduct the immediate arrest of all illegal immigrants who have come into our country, with a heavy emphasis on specific nationalities, explicitly naming Somalia and other regions. I am reporting this to you as an immigration analyst. I am not endorsing this statement, but it is my responsibility to tell you what was officially stated so that you can make informed decisions about your travel. If you are from any country, whether it is an African nation, a South Asian country, a Latin American nation, or a Muslim-majority country, and you are traveling this week, you need to be extra prepared. Even if you are a U.S. citizen, if you fit a certain profile, the risk of being stopped for questioning has just skyrocketed. I will tell you exactly how to handle that in a moment. Then on Sunday morning, Border czar Tom Homan went on CNN's State of the Union and confirmed the deployment. He said, "We will be at airports tomorrow helping TSA move those lines along." He said he is coordinating the plan with the director of ICE and the TSA administrator. His exact words were, "We'll put together a plan today and we'll execute tomorrow." A DHS spokesperson then gave a statement to CBS News saying the president is using every tool available to help American travelers. The plan is to deploy hundreds of ICE officers to airports being adversely impacted by the ongoing shutdown. Vice President J.D. Vance posted on X, saying, "Thankfully, ICE will bring sanity to our airports starting tomorrow, but it's far past time for Democrats to fund DHS." So, let me be crystal clear so there is no confusion. This is not a rumor. This is not speculation. This is confirmed by the president, confirmed by Homan, confirmed by DHS, and confirmed by the vice president. ICE is going to airports tomorrow. The question is, what happens when they get there? To understand why ICE agents are being sent to airports, you need to understand the disaster that is the current DHS shutdown. The Department of Homeland Security has been shut down for 36 days. It started on February 14th when Congress failed to pass a funding bill. The reason it failed goes back to January 24th when, during a massive immigration crackdown in Minneapolis, federal agents killed 2 United States citizens. Their names were Renee Good and Alex Prey. An autopsy commissioned by Renee Good's family found she was shot in the head. A DHS report confirmed 2 federal officers fired their guns at Alex Prey. These deaths triggered a massive outcry. Senate Democrats said they would not fund DHS unless Republicans agreed to 11 major reforms for ICE. These reforms include requiring judicial warrants before entering homes, requiring agents to wear body cameras, banning agents from wearing face masks during enforcement, prohibiting raids near schools and hospitals, and providing immediate access to lawyers for anyone detained. Republicans have refused most of these demands, arguing they would hamstring law enforcement. 5 Senate votes to fund DHS have all failed. The 5th vote on Friday, March 20th, failed 47 to 37. Only one Democrat crossed party lines, Senator John Fetterman of Pennsylvania. Then on Saturday, Democrats tried a different approach, introducing a standalone bill to fund just the TSA, to get the airport workers paid without funding ICE. Republicans blocked that too, 41 to 49. So here is where we are right now. Over 50,000 TSA officers, the people in blue shirts who scan your bags, are working without pay. They have missed 2 paychecks. More than 400 of them have quit since the shutdown began. That number was 366 earlier this week. DHS updated it today to over 400. The call-out rate, agents calling in sick because they can't afford gas, hit a record 10.22% on March 17th. At Houston Hobby Airport, more than half the scheduled staff did not show up on a single day. At Atlanta's Hartsfield-Jackson, nearly 40% of the workforce was absent last Wednesday. Wait times hit 2.5 hours at Atlanta today on a Sunday, over 2 hours at Houston Bush, 80 minutes at JFK. TSA Acting Deputy Administrator Adam Stahl said something every traveler needs to hear. He said it is not hyperbole to suggest that we may have to quite literally shut down airports, particularly smaller ones if call-out rates go up. And then he said this: "We have individuals sleeping in their cars, drawing blood plasma to afford to pay for gas to get to work." That is the reality for TSA agents right now. They are choosing between feeding their families and showing up to screen your luggage. And instead of paying them, the government's answer is to send armed immigration agents to their workplace. And here is the part that makes this even more difficult to understand. ICE is fully funded. ICE received a separate appropriation of $75 billion through the One Big Beautiful Bill Act last summer. ICE agents are getting their full paychecks. TSA agents are not. The people being sent to help are being paid. The people they are supposedly helping have not been paid for 5 weeks. Meanwhile, Elon Musk posted on X on Saturday offering to pay all 50,000 TSA workers' salaries himself. The estimated cost would be $23 million per day. But there is no legal mechanism for a private citizen to pay federal employee salaries without an act of Congress. So, as of right now, that offer changes nothing for the agents sleeping in their cars. Now we arrive at the question every single person watching this video needs answered. What can ICE agents actually do when they show up at your airport tomorrow? Let me break this into 3 parts: where they will be, what their official role is, and what their legal authority is regarding your immigration status. First, where they will be. Based on Homan's own statements on CNN, ICE agents will be positioned in the public areas of airports, terminal entrances, security line entrances, and exit doors. They will not be at the boarding gates. They will not be inside the secure area beyond the checkpoint. Their purpose, according to Homan, is to free up TSA officers from guard duty at entry and exit points so that TSA screeners can focus on the actual scanning lines. But being in the public area means they will be face-to-face with every single traveler who walks into that airport. Second, their official role. Homan said on CNN, "I don't see an ICE agent looking at an X-ray machine because they're not trained in that." He said ICE agents would handle crowd management, guard exits, and be what he called a force multiplier for TSA. But here is where it already gets confusing. On the same Sunday morning, Transportation Secretary Sean Duffy went on ABC News and said something completely different. He said, "They run those same type of security machines at the southern border, right? They know how to run the X-ray machines because they are again under Homeland Security with TSA." CNN immediately pointed out this is incorrect. It is not ICE that runs screening equipment at ports of entry. That is Customs and Border Protection, a completely different agency. So before a single ICE agent has even arrived at an airport, the government is already contradicting itself about what these agents will actually do. And the legal reality is clear. Under federal law, specifically Title 49, United States Code Section 4491, airport security screening can only be performed by trained and certified personnel. TSA officers undergo months of specialized training to detect explosives, weapons, and sophisticated threats. ICE agents have not completed that training. They are not certified for aviation security. The TSA Officers Union made this point powerfully. Everett Kelly, the president of the American Federation of Government Employees, released a statement today saying, "TSA officers deserve to be paid, not replaced by untrained armed agents who have shown how dangerous they can be." He continued, "ICE agents are not trained or certified in aviation security. TSA officers spend months developing highly specialized skills to detect explosives, weapons, and sophisticated threats designed to evade screening. You cannot improvise that." A former TSA officer named Shamara Fielder put it even more plainly to CNN. She said, "They're cops. That's a whole other type of training. We're taught to be customer-friendly. We're taught to be understanding. Law enforcement, that's not their realm." Now part 3, and this is the part you need to pay the closest attention to: their legal authority regarding your immigration status. ICE agents have the legal authority to enforce immigration law anywhere in the United States. That authority does not disappear because they are standing in an airport terminal instead of on a street corner. And Homan confirmed on CNN that ICE agents will continue to enforce immigration laws as they deploy to terminals and security lines. The president explicitly said these agents would arrest undocumented immigrants at airports. And let me be honest about something that affects every community. The president mentioned one specific nationality in his statement, but the reality of airport encounters affects everyone. According to CBP's own data from fiscal year 2025, over 55,000 phone searches were conducted at airports, and a disproportionate number of those involved travelers from Muslim-majority countries, South Asian nations, and Latin American countries. Historical data shows that Black and brown travelers are selected for additional screening at rates 2 to 3 times higher than white travelers. A Senate report from December 2025 documented multiple cases where ICE actually detained United States citizens by mistake. So whether you are Somali, Pakistani, Indian, Bangladeshi, Mexican, Guatemalan, Nigerian, or any other nationality, if you look or sound like an immigrant to an agent, this information applies to you. And honestly, even if you are a United States citizen who happens to have brown skin, this applies to you too, because mistakes have happened, and those mistakes have cost people their freedom. But here is the good news. The law is actually on your side if you know it. The Fourth Amendment of the United States Constitution protects every single person on American soil, regardless of immigration status, from unreasonable searches and seizures. An ICE agent cannot stop you, detain you, or arrest you without probable cause. Simply being at an airport is not probable cause. Simply looking a certain way is not probable cause. Simply having an accent is not probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. If an ICE agent asks you where you were born, how you entered the United States, or what your immigration status is, you may refuse to answer. You may remain silent. You may walk away unless you are being formally detained. For a domestic flight, the only document you are legally required to show at a TSA checkpoint is a valid government-issued photo ID. Not a passport, not a green card, not a visa, just a valid photo ID. However, there is something critical you need to know. Since late 2025, TSA has been sharing passenger lists with ICE multiple times per week for cross-checking against immigration databases. That means ICE may already know who is on a flight before that person arrives at the airport. If you have an outstanding removal order, a warrant, or certain criminal convictions, ICE could be waiting. Green card holders, ICE can detain you if you have specific criminal convictions, even minor ones, or if you have an outstanding removal order. If your record is clean and your status is valid, you should not face issues, but carry your green card and any approval notices just in case. United States citizens, ICE has no authority to arrest or detain you, but carry your passport or naturalization certificate because proving your citizenship on the spot is the fastest way to end any encounter. Based on everything I have just told you, here are 5 things every person needs to do before stepping into an airport this week. Number 1, carry every immigration document you have. If you're a green card holder, carry your card and a color photocopy. If you are a naturalized citizen, carry your passport or a copy of your naturalization certificate. If you are on a work visa, carry your I-797 approval notice and your I-94 record. If you have an employment authorization document, EAD, carry it. Keep photocopies on your phone and physical copies in your bag. If anyone questions your status, you want to resolve it immediately, right there in the terminal, not from a detention facility hours later. Number 2, know your 3 constitutional phrases. I want you to take out your phone right now. Open your Notes app or screenshot this mental note. These 3 phrases are protected by the United States Constitution, and no agent, ICE, CBP, or any law enforcement can punish you for saying them. Phrase 1, am I being detained or am I free to go? This forces the agent to either formally detain you, which requires probable cause, or let you leave. Phrase 2, I am exercising my right to remain silent. You do not have to answer any questions about your status, your birthplace, or your nationality. Phrase 3, I want to speak to a lawyer. If you are detained, you have the right to an attorney. Do not sign anything. Do not agree to anything. Do not volunteer information. Let me repeat them. Phrase 1, am I being detained or am I free to go? Phrase 2, I am exercising my right to remain silent. Phrase 3, I want to speak to a lawyer. These are not tricks. These are not loopholes. These are constitutional rights that apply to every single person on American soil. Citizen, green card holder, visa holder, and yes, even undocumented. The Constitution does not ask for your papers before it protects you. Number 3, arrive at the airport extremely early. I know you have heard this before, but this week is different. Wait times hit 2.5 hours today at Atlanta on a regular Sunday. With ICE agents being added tomorrow, there could be additional confusion and bottlenecks at entrances and exits. For domestic flights, arrive at least 3 to 4 hours early. For international flights, arrive 5 hours early. It is better to wait at your gate for 2 hours than to miss your flight or be caught in an unexpected situation outside security. Number 4, consider flying through one of the 20 airports that use private security. These airports are not affected by the TSA shutdown because they participate in the Screening Partnership Program. Their wait times are completely normal right now, and ICE presence is likely to be lower. The biggest is San Francisco International. Others include Kansas City International, Orlando Sanford, Atlantic City, and 16 more. CNN published the full list on March 21st. If you have any flexibility in your travel plans, routing through one of these airports could save you hours and help you avoid any encounter with newly deployed ICE agents. Number 5. If you have any unresolved immigration issue, a pending case that is complicated, an old removal order you aren't sure was cleared, an expired visa, anything, talk to an immigration attorney before you fly this week. I am not telling you not to fly. I am telling you to understand your risk before you walk into that building. The president said ICE agents at airports will arrest undocumented immigrants. That is a direct statement. Take it seriously. Let me step back for a moment because this is about something bigger than airport lines. What we are witnessing is the merging of immigration enforcement and aviation security in a way that has never happened before in this country's history. TSA was created after September 11th with one mission: protect aviation security, detect threats to aircraft. That mission was never about immigration status. ICE was created in 2003 with a completely different mission: enforce immigration law and remove people. These two missions are fundamentally different. When you combine them in the same physical space, the airport, you create something unprecedented. You create a scenario where a green card holder going to visit family in another state might encounter an immigration enforcement officer at the terminal entrance. A naturalized citizen with an accent might face questions that were never part of the airport experience before. A tourist on a valid visa might feel intimidated by a uniformed agent who is not there for aviation security at all. House Minority Leader Hakeem Jeffries said on CNN Today that the last thing that the American people need are for untrained ICE agents to be deployed at airports all across the country. Those are strong words from a senior member of Congress. Whether you agree with him or not, the fact that this level of concern exists at the highest levels of government tells you that this situation is serious and deserves your full attention. Even Republican Senator John Kennedy, when asked if ICE at airports would help, gave a cautious answer. He said it could help, but only for crowd control, not for actual screening. Here is what to watch for in the coming days. Tomorrow, Monday, March 24th, ICE agents will appear at airports. We do not yet know which airports or how many agents. Homan said the priority will be airports with the longest wait times, meaning Atlanta, Houston, New York, Los Angeles, and other major hubs. Bipartisan negotiations continue this week. Homan has met with senators twice. The two biggest sticking points are the judicial warrant requirement and the mask ban, both Democratic demands that the White House has so far resisted. Senators want a deal before Easter recess at the end of this week. The next TSA payday is Friday, March 28th. If the shutdown continues, officers will miss another paycheck. Transportation Secretary Duffy delivered a warning on Friday that should concern every traveler. He said, "These are going to be good days compared to what is going to happen a week from now. This will look like child's play." Let me leave you with this. The airport you walk into tomorrow will look different from last week. There will be longer lines. There may be confusion. There will be new faces in uniform. But you now have something that most travelers walking into that airport tomorrow will not have. Information. You know your rights. You know the law. You know what to carry and what to say. That is not fear. That is preparation. And preparation is the most powerful thing an immigrant can carry. Share this video with every immigrant you know, every green card holder, every visa holder, every family member who is flying this week. The information in this video could protect someone you love. I am Edward from US Green Card Signal. Subscribe and turn on notifications because this situation is changing by the hour and I will cover every single update. Stay informed, stay prepared, and I will see you in the next one.